Megan Rapinoe recently said on a interview at the podium after a game how if she were a religious person, which she's not, this is why God does not exist, and then proceeded to explain why she believes God does not exist. Now, before we dive into what caused her to say that, if you don't know who Megan is, she is a pink-haired USA women's soccer player who's known not only for her play in soccer, but as well as her views outside of soccer, more towards the political realm. She's very leftist. She's one who advocates and fights for women's equal pay in sports, as well as having some arguments with former President Donald Trump. And so she's just been very vocal in her life around this stuff and strong on her leftist beliefs. And so what caused her to say this at the podium? Well, it was her last game, and with her being contested, with nobody around, she seemingly just fell to the ground. And it looks like her ACL or her Achilles either ruptured or torn, and that ended her season. That ended her last time to play on a soccer field, and it didn't end the way that she thought it should have. And that caused her to say what she said, how if there were a God, this would be proof why there's not, because this is pretty bleeped up. She used the F word there. And so that's her reasoning. That's why she believes that there is no God, because something like this would happen to her. Now, we have to be careful with this viewpoint and this thought process, because sadly, this is something that either will hinder people from even coming to Christianity or coming to the faith, or it will cause people who are in the church to eventually kind of leave and deconstruct and walk away from Christianity and their faith in God. And it kind of causes people to wonder why this is the reason. But we have to understand, guys, that yes, Jesus is sovereign over all things. The Lord is omniscient, omnipresent. He is King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Yet we still live in a sinful, broken world that was made that way, not by God at first, but after Adam and Eve sinned in the garden and ate of the forbidden fruit. And when they took the bite of that, they sinned against God, disobeying him, separating them from him. And then that brought forth death. That brought forth what we see in this world. The brokenness of homes, tears, divorce, sickness, debt, loss of homes and personal belongings. We see people getting sexually assaulted. We see children starving on the streets. We see men and women, adults who are homeless just all around us. We see brokenness and heartache and pain and suffering all around us. And it can cause people to look up and go, where are you, God? It can cause people to question the authority and power the Lord has over things. Yes, the devil is at work, and demons are at work, and the supernatural and the spiritual realm are always working and moving. But we do live in a broken world, and there's no perfect answer to all of this except for this is what the fall caused. This is what sin has caused. And one day, yes, the Lord will wipe away all the tears as he promised to those who put their faith in him. And he will make a new heaven and a new earth, perfect in his sight, with no sin, no death, no sickness, no nothing, no pain, no suffering. But until that day comes, we have to understand and come to grips with reality that we cannot escape it. And good things are going to happen to, as quote unquote, bad people. And bad things are going to happen to, quote unquote, good people. But we have to be reminded of this. God is still good. There's only one truly good person, and that is Jesus Christ. And there is a truth to what is said in Matthew chapter 5, in verse 45. In the middle of this verse, it says, He makes His sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and the unjust. This may be difficult to accept, but be a difference maker in this world. Lend the helping hand. Pray for people and things going around in this world. Don't sit around and go, why, God? But go, Lord, here I am. Send me. And be the hands and feet of Jesus.